Aptus StartBoost is a very important part of the premium collection of specialty plant boosters by Aptus Plant Tech. It's very important for early plant and root development as well as vegetative growth throughout the life of the plant. Some of the benefits of using StartBoost include that it is natural and organic in all of the sources of its materials, which is going to trigger the biological mechanisms that occur in nature versus doing things in the synthetic manner. You're going to see improved development of stems, root systems, and the plant tissue throughout the growth of the plant. You're also going to improve the microlife population as well as the strength of that microlife by stimulating properly with good quality sources of carbon and other natural organic sources. StartBoost is going to increase the availability and uptake of minerals through proper chelation as well as soil conditioning. There's a few very important things that StartBoost contains that help it do so well with your plants. The first thing is organic nitrogen provided from left-turning amino acids. We know that L-amino acids are easily absorbed by the plant tissue because they're a natural form of amino acids. And once they get into the plant tissue, they dissolve and the organic nitrogen is released into the plant. This is going to provide a good source of nitrogen without having antagonistic action with other nutrients, which you typically find when you're using nitrates and nitrites and other salt-based forms of minerals. Because of this quality source of nitrogen provided to the plant naturally, there's a lot less risk of burning or creating any kind of stress upon the plant that's not wanted. Also, amino acids act as stimulators and precursors to many other plant processes, including cellular division, hormone production, and mineral utilization. StartBoost also contains very specific and high populations of beneficial microbes. These are selected strains that are chosen for maximum utility. There's a lot of strains that do very particular things, but the strains that are found in StartBoost have a more robust effect and do a lot more functions in the plant, so they can be more effective and more diverse in their actions. One thing that these microbes do very well is to help release and convert unavailable minerals in the growing medium and make them available to the plant very quickly. They also, through their life cycle, start to produce natural forms of vitamin complexes as well as hormones and other biostimulation compounds that help your plant to grow just as they do out in nature. And when you have really strong, healthy populations of beneficial microbes, it's going to help to resist and provide a mechanical barrier against pathogens and other anaerobic microbes that can do damage to your root system. StartBoost also contains humic acids from the Leonardo layer, which is a very important source of good carbon to go back into the growing medium. When you reintroduce carbon into the growing medium, it helps to condition the soil, provide better water retention and better soil structure, as well as to stimulate the microlife activity. Carbon is a fixator of microlife, and without it, these microbes, these bacteria and fungi, have a hard time anchoring themselves within the growing medium so that they can do and perform what they need to do. And finally, StartBoost contains a high-grade fulvic acid, which is very similar to humic acid. It's actually just a smaller molecular form of humic acid, and fulvic acid does extremely well at naturally chelating minerals in the soil for better uptake and utilization by the plant. The small molecule size of fulvic acid means that it's easier for the root hairs of the plant to absorb and to transport throughout the plant. So when you're using StartBoost, there's a few considerations that you want to keep in mind. First of all, always mix it after Facilitor as well as your base NPK fertilizer. And StartBoost is not going to have effect on your ppm or EC level because it is an organic form, so you need to keep that in mind. You're going to use it at 5 mils per 5 gallons or 1 mil per gallon in every drop of water through growth and the first week of your bloom phase. Very important that you always use clean measuring tools because you don't want to avoid contamination. The microbes in StartBoost are stabilized and protected, and they start to activate whenever they hit water or any other compound. If you get contamination within the actual bottle of StartBoost, you can start to activate those microbes. It can cause some problems with fermentation and things like that down the road. So you want to make sure you also keep it closed in a cool and dry environment. You don't want to stimulate those microlife when prior to mixing into your nutrient solution, and if it gets too hot or too cold, you can start to mess up the balance within the solution. And you don't want to keep your StartBoost in your reservoir for more than 2 to 3 days. It's not going to destroy the effectiveness of StartBoost, but it will start to break down things, and the microlife will start to interact and cause some biofilm buildup and get some other messy things within your reservoir. So it's not a good idea. StartBoost is always best when you mix and then feed. And finally, a technique that a lot of growers like is to pre-soak your cloning medium, your rooting plugs, in a 1 to 1,000 dilution of StartBoost in your water, which is about 4 mils per gallon. This is going to get the amino acids, the microlife, and the humic acids in the growing medium there to stimulate and help that root growth in the initial stages of a clone's life. So as always with Aptus, education is absolutely the most important thing to us. We're always eager to help and to educate you and to help make sure that you see success when you're using the premium collection by Aptus. So for more information and education, go to aptus-usa.com/education.